Dear students, in this video we will discuss the chapter The Sound of Music from the textbook Beehive. This chapter is divided into two parts. The first part is talking about Evelyn Glennie and the second part is talking about uh, Ustad Bismillah Khan. First we will see the first part and try to understand who was Evelyn Glennie, from where she is and how she became successful in her life. So please look into the textbook. The Sound of Music, Part 1. Evelyn Glennie listened to sound without hearing it. Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. So, the first sentence is talking about a rush hour. Rush hour means the busy hour of the day. Each day has got some busy hours like morning and evening and all, when people will be moving to the office and coming back and all. So like that it was a busy hour and the crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform and people were rushing and jostling. Jostling means pushing and pulling in a very rough way because they were trying to find a position in the railway platform, in an underground train platform that is mentioned there. A slight girl looking younger than her 17 years was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. And in that crowd, one slight girl was there. Slight means very thin looking girl, and she seems to be little bit nervous, but still she was excited, and she was getting the vibration of the train. So that means the train was approaching and she was getting the vibration. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. And it was her first day and she is going to a prestigious Royal Academy of Music that is in London, and in this academy she is going for the first day, and because of that excitement was there with her. And for any teenager, those who are going into this prestigious, popular, famous academy, they will be a bit nervous because to get admission there it is very difficult. And like any other teenager, she also was having a little nervousness, and added to that she was having some other problem also. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. So this girl, she was having a bigger challenge to get admission there because she was profoundly deaf. Profoundly means severely. She was a deaf person. Deaf means a person who can't hear. So that is the first paragraph. Hope you understood. Look at the next paragraph. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. So this girl lost her hearing capacity gradually. Gradual means slowly, so step by step. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. So the mother remembers that when Evelyn was 8 years old and she was called to play piano, the music instrument. At that time, this mother noticed something was wrong with this girl. They called her name and she didn't move. They called Evelyn, but she was not responding. So that time they understood that something wrong with this girl. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard, says Isabel Glennie. So Isabel Glennie is the mother of Evelyn, and since she did not respond when she was called, then this Isabel Glennie understood that, realized means understood that she did not hear when they called because she was not moving. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. And for some time, she was able to conceal means hide this problem, this physical problem, that is, she was lacking hearing capacity, that she tried to hide from her friends and teachers for some time. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a doctor. So when she was 11, her marks was deteriorating. Deteriorate means become bad to worse. So she was not scoring much mark in the exams and all. So the headmistress urged means compelled or forced her parents to take her to a specialist, a doctor. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. So they took this girl to a doctor, and after checking up, they understood that her hearing was severely impaired. Very seriously, her hearing capacity was lost or damaged, as the gradual slowly the nervous system that works for hearing that got damaged, and severely now she is uh, not having hearing capacity. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf, and the doctor suggested that she should be sent to a special school for learning, and also a hearing aid should be given to her. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. So when she came to know about this, she felt everything just black. So, like that, a hopeless feeling she was having. Hope you understood that paragraph. We will go to the next paragraph. But Evelyn was not going to give up. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. So Evelyn was not ready to give up. She did not lose the hope, and she decided no, to live a normal life and to pursue her interest in music, continue learning music. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. So one day she noticed a girl was playing a musical instrument called xylophone, and by looking at that she also felt that she wanted to play that musical instrument. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. So most of the teachers discouraged her because they were thinking that if she tries to play and if she is not successful, then she will lose again hope. So most of the teachers discouraged her, but one percussionist was there. Percussionist means a person who play or expert in playing drums, tabla and all that. So his name was Ron Forbes, spotted her potential. So spotted means found out her or understood her potential ability. He began by tuning two large drums to different notes, and he started arranging two drums with different musical notes, which is suitable for this Evelyn to play. Don't listen through your ears, he would say. Try to sense it some other way. And that man, that percussionist, made this Evelyn understand that don't try to listen to the music because you are not able to hear the sound. So find out some other way of sensing the music. Says Evelyn, suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down. Forbes repeated the exercise, and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. The rest was sheer determination and hard work. So suddenly, Evelyn understood that by playing that two different drums, she could get the vibration. When she was able to, or when she played the bigger one, she was getting the vibration above the waist of her body. And when she played the small one, then below the below her waist, she was feeling the vibration. So getting the vibration of the sound, she was able to uh, understand the different sound and the musical notes. So that practice slowly made her understand, with her mind and body, the difference between the different sound vibrations. And slowly she started picking up, playing drums and this xylophone and so on. And she says that uh, her hard work and determination that also helped her to pick up the musical notes in different way, not by listening but by understanding through sense and vibration and so on. So that is what is explained in that paragraph. We will go to the next paragraph. She never looked back from that point onwards. She toured the United Kingdom with a youth orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the Academy. So once she started picking up the music, then there was no going back. She uh, never looked back. She understood that she can learn this music, and she had a tour with a youth orchestra all through the United Kingdom. And when she was 16 years old, she understood that this is her life, music is her life, and that is the suitable profession that she can have. Then she auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the academy. And she joined a popular academy for learning more music, that is Royal Academy of Music. And in the audition, for selection, there was an audition, and she scored the highest mark in the history of that academy. She gradually moved from the orchestral work to solo performances. So in the beginning and all, she was performing with orchestra, means with so many musicians. But slowly, gradually, she started playing music solo, alone. She started performing on the stage, and at the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. So, 3 years she was having the musical course in that academy, and within that 3 years of time, she got maximum awards, uh, that top awards which were given for music. She captured, or she got it. So that is the explanation of that particular paragraph. We'll move to the next one. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. If you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there. And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some 1,000 instruments and a hectic international schedule. So for getting all these awards and all, she won't accept any heroic uh, performance, or she is a hero like that. She never accepted. And a wonderful words she says there, underline and keep it. If you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there. If you work hard and you know where you are going, that means you are clear about your aim, then definitely you will reach there. And she got to the top of the position where she wanted to reach. She was clear about her life, her ability, and she wanted to become a great musician, and she reached the top of that position, and she became one of the most sought after multi percussionist. So she was a multi percussionist. She was able to play different musical instruments like drums and tabalas and related like that instruments. And she was most sought after, means very famous. Everyone wanted to see her performance, and she was called to different places. And she had the mastery of some 1,000 instrument. So having all the limitations, she was a deaf person, but still she mastered around 1,000 musical instrument and hectic international schedule. And she was having very hectic, very busy schedule timetable for different countries, international schedule. She was invited to different countries for performing music. I hope you understood that paragraph. We will go to the next paragraph. It is intriguing to which Evelyn functions so effortlessly without hearing. In our 2 hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. It is not just watching the lips, it is the whole face, especially the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. So, the starting of this paragraph is talking about the effortless functioning of Evelyn, though she is having this hearing problem, but she functions without any problem. So, that is intriguing. Intriguing means something surprising, so something very curious. In our 2 hour discussion, she never missed a word. So the writer of this lesson is telling that when the writer had a interview with this Evelyn, 2 hours they had a discussion, and this girl Evelyn never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. And as they were having the interview, Evelyn just mentioned that men who are having beard, bushy beard, with them, when she talk, she had a little problem, and she just laughed. It is not just watching the lips; it is the whole face, especially the eyes, and she cannot hear. So, looking at a person's face, facial expressions, lip movement, and eyes, and all that, only she understand what the person is talking. So she can't hear. So, and a person who is having bushy beard and all, the facial expression may not be that clear. That is what just she mentioned. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. Lilt means the way of speaking, and Scottish slang only she spoke flawlessly. Flawlessly means without any mistake. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11. And she says her pronunciation or talking is clear because till 11 she was able to hear. So afterwards only she completely lost the hearing capacity. Why she mentioned it? Because we learn a language by listening only. So first we listen, then we try to repeat or pronounce the words like this. Like that only we learn a language. So uh, she could speak well because till 11 she was able to hear words or others talking and all. That's why she could pick up the speaking capacity. But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. But something very surprising is that she learned 2 other languages also, like French and Japanese. So that also she learned. So that is very strange because a person who can hear properly will find out difficult to learn a new language, but without proper hearing capacity, how she mastered these 2 other languages, that is always something interesting and very curious. As for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonance flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. So this paragraph is talking about how she experienced the music. She tells that she feels the music all through her body. So the music is just pour into every part of her body. So, and she mentions it tingles in the skin. Tingles means a cause a slight pricking, means a pinching sensation she gets on the skin when she get the sensation of music. My cheekbones and even in my hair and in almost all the parts of her body she feels the music on her cheekbones, on her hair. So when she plays xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into the fingertips. And when she plays the xylophone, and musical instrument with sticks, she feels that the music is just passing from the stick to her fingertips, like that she feels it. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonances flowing into her body. So when she lean against the drums and play the drums, she feels the drum through her body, means the resonance, the echo passes through her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. And whenever she is performing on a wooden platform, wooden stage, she removes her shoes so that the vibration of the music will pass through her bare feet. Bare feet means without any slipper or any shoe. When she is remaining on the wooden platform or the stage, when she plays the music, that the music she could sense through her leg. So that is the explanation of that paragraph. Now let's look into the next paragraph. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audiences. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal uh, Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. So, there is nothing so surprising that this talented musician delights her audience. Delights means make happy. So, whenever she performs music, it will be a very delighting, so a very delighting experience for her audience. And in the year 1991 she got a prestigious award presented by a Royal Philharmonic Society. So she got the prestigious Soloist of the Year award. She got it in 1991. Says master percussionist James Blades, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. And a famous percussionist, so his name is James Blades. So he says, God may have taken away her hearing capacity, but he means God gifted her something extraordinary, and that is her talent of playing music. And what we hear, she feels only that much difference only. So and she feels it more deeply than any of us. So we hear the music, but she feels the music. That is why she could express music so beautifully. So these words of James Blades just underline and keep. So sometime a question can come. What master percussionist James Blade told about Evelyn Glennie. Now look at the next paragraph. Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic, and Evelyn confesses, reveals, tells that she is of a type of workaholic. Workaholic means addicted to work. I have just got to work, often harder than classical musicians. So always she want to improve her music. For that she works hard more than the classical musicians, the traditional musicians. She works little harder than them, but the rewards are enormous. But she gets the reward also, means the result also is huge as she is working more. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. So apart from the regular concert means musical programs. She freely performs this concert in some places like a prison and hospital and she also gives high priority to classes for young musicians. So she was giving high priority, importance to young musicians, teaching them, giving classes to them. For that also she spent time. Anne Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says, she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. So a person, Anne Richlin, uh, who belongs to Beethoven Fund, a society who uh, work for the upliftment of these deaf children. She says about Evelyn that she is a shining inspiration, a motivation for all the deaf children because her life and the success that gives hope to all the deaf children that there is no limitation for them because of their physical disability. So her life is an inspiration for all the deaf children. That is what this Anne Richlin says. Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age, and in her young age itself, she achieved success in life more than the people those who are double of her age. There's a time that this percussion or these instruments like tabla, drums and all always kept at the back of the stage. But Evelyn only brought it in front. This percussion can be placed in front of the orchestra. That change she only brought it. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, uh, people who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to the millions. So she is always an inspiration for handicapped people, and handicapped people may look at her and they may think, if she can, then why can't we? That feeling they get it. And also she entertained millions of people by her musical talent. So that is the end of the chapter, means the first part of this chapter. The life of Evelyn Glennie is giving us a message that if a deaf girl can become successful in life through hard work, then having all the facilities and faculties, why can't we improve our life or our talents and become successful persons in life? That is a question placing before us by this first part. Now I will give you some important questions and their answers. You can write it down.